Minus 30. Pause. Mic. iPhone mic.
Now I'm going to make a strawberry smoothie here. Oh, hang on, I don't know what I'm doing with this thing, but anyway, okay, so that's, the blender is over here. I'm going to use it over here, actually. So I've got my phone on a portable battery pack, which I'll be charging later anyway.
ID made pressed.
So it's on a portable battery pack.
Battery 83%.
That's fine, I know how
ID mode.
high the thing is, and I can take that with me to the shops if I want to. And I've decided to put the aircon on because it's simply too hot not to. So I've got the base over here near the microwave, and I'm going to put these wraps. Oh, that's my phone. Jesus. I'm going to put my wraps just on top of the. They're okay there, on top of the slow cooker for now. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this bench space. I can either put the blender in over here or over that way, but I'd rather do it over there. So what I can do, and this is what I was discussing the other day, I can either, well, I have to measure milk in a cup to start with because it's just too hard to tip milk into the jug and guess, oh, that's exactly how much I've put in there, because next time will be a different amount, next time will be a different amount again. It will be inconsistent. So I need a cup to measure the milk. But for the ice cream, yeah, I'm better off measuring the ice cream into the cup because it will make less of a mess. Because if I measure ice cream into the jug itself, I'll be putting it into the jug and spilling some of it by accident over the side, and it will drip down onto the bench and all over the jug, and I'll go to clean the jug, and if I haven't cleaned it properly, some of that will get onto the blender base due to having to put my hands on everything to feel where everything is. So I think it is better that I put the ice cream into a little cup and then tip that into the jug, because then anything that I feel that gets off the cup onto the side of the jug, I can quickly feel it and clean it off. So first of all, I'm going to bring the jug over. I'm going to add food to this jug first, which is what I like about having the jug off the base of the blender, is I can just add food to that and then put it onto the base afterwards, and there's no mess. And even if I did have to wipe the mess off the jug, I can just give it a wipe and wipe the bench and that, and wipe the jug again. But it saves me a lot of hassle and a lot of mess. If I were to make a mess by putting ice cream into the cup, then it would simply quickly take me bringing the cloth over and wiping underneath the cup and that, and I wouldn't necessarily get shit all over the jug, food and stuff all over it. So yeah, I'm going to add stuff from my fruit salad that I made. I'd add a little bit of, and the good news about having this jug over here is if I do make any mess, I can just quickly clean it all up, just quickly. Add a bit of pawpaw to it. I can just very quickly clean up any mess that I've made. All that in the bin. And now I've just remembered I cannot even touch my iPhone because guess what? It's connected to the portable battery power, which there's 50,000 amps of electric running through that battery pack, which means I might die. So, or get a severe electric shock. So I have to make sure I do not touch that at all. Now, put that away, throw that in the bin because it's rotten. Bloody rotten potato yogurt. The good thing is I ate most of it, so I'm not going to go off at myself for wasting little bits of food once in a while. But when I buy packets of vegetables and then they get wasted, I'm just like, oh my god. Oh, I haven't even put the washing in the dryer yet. Oh, shit. Anyway, raspberries. Raspberries. What I'm going to do about the strawberries is, I hope these are okay. So what I'm going to do about the strawberries is just add them to the dish as and when I can. I'm going to make a really good smoothie today, a really good one. Very good little smoothie today. Okay. Now I'm going to put the strawberries. I can't be sure if they'll be okay or not. I'm about to find out. Oh, I can't be sure about that. I think some of them are okay. Yeah, some of them are alright. I'll just use what I can of the strawberries and throw the rest out. They're alright. And that's alright. The rest of them have to go in the bin, unfortunately. And that's okay. The rest of them are going into the bin. Right. So now I'm just going to pick the strawberry flour out of them. Yep, right out. Rather than cutting the strawberries open, I'm just going to pick it right out. All the way out. Better than cutting them, I reckon. As long as you've got very clean fingers, you should technically cut it out, but I have no ability how to do it without wasting a lot of food, so. I am going to use leftover fruit as and how I can, because it is going to go rotten and I want to eat it. Now, a bit of a stem. Okay. Now, take all of that. Put that with the little bit of shitty bloody rubbish. Now I can't touch my phone right now because it's on battery power in the portable battery pack and it will cause a zap. So if you hear any silence, that's because I can't turn off Recorder HQ at the moment to do a pause and resume thing. So at the moment you're going to have to just go with what I'm doing, even if it appears drawn out, because when I have wet hands, you aren't catching me touching the electricity. And is that very clear? I hope it is, because you're not going to catch me do it. Alright? So just let the recording be, and if it drags along, I don't mean it. I just will not touch an electrical appliance, either as a portable or a plugged-in appliance, with wet fingers. Unless I'm touching the very outside of the blender and the jug, and nowhere near the power cord, and it is not dropping water onto the machine, especially near the mechanical part where the plug goes in. Not the plug, the connection is, you know, reaching into the so where the cord joins the machine. You know what I mean? Anyways, we won't go there because we sort of know what the go is. You know, so I'm going to open this bloody thing. Okay, I've got it open. Okay. Right. Now I'll wash my hands again, because I just want to keep myself healthy and happy, as well as not get bin bugs from the rubbish. Ugh, yuck. Ew, yuck. Now, get my cup. Oh shit. How much milk do I want in that? I want quite a bit. I want a whole cup of milk. Entire cup. Oh, there is now. Okay. I want to make it, you can only have a litre of liquid in there, so I'm going to gently tip it in. I have another cup of milk in that. Another one. Oh, that's too much. There we go. It's going to spill everywhere. This is why I use a little drinking cup to measure milk, because if it spills, I can quickly clean it up. Very quickly. Put that down the bottom and that over there. The milk in the bottom can be used for a cup of coffee at some point. And, oh, I forgot about that. I just tip milk into that. And then quickly clean up the mess, which is not difficult. You just get the cloth and you clean up your mess. What I like about my arrangement is I can clean up whatever mess is here on the bench, and you would not know that I've made a mess because I've cleaned it up. Now, got the ice cream. I'm going to put, shit. Now I don't have to drink all of this smoothie, I can just put it in the fridge and drink it later. I do not have to drink it all right away. What's good about this blender jug is there are blades in the bottom, but it can be used both as, you know, your blender to blend things up and then you wash it out, or you just put it in the fridge as if it were a drinking jug, a drinking pitcher, and you oh, hang on, I've got a drinking pitcher in my cupboard. I'm going to find it. I'm going to have a look for that. I've got a drinking pitcher somewhere. Oh, I just found it. I've got a drinking pitcher. Forget what I said. Forget about what I just said. I have a drinking pitcher here.
iPhone microphone.
Oh, fuck. Gave myself a panic because I accidentally touched my phone while my hand was wet. I thought, oh shit, oh, I don't want to get zapped. Oh. That's how I felt. But I'm still okay. I just panicked. Oh, fuck. Oh, I frightened myself then. Oh, shit. Gave myself a bloody fright. Oh, look at that. And I still feel okay. I'm scared. No worries. Don't worry. Okay, so, but you can use this blender jug as a drinking pitcher if you want to. You just put the lid on and you put it in the fridge. Okay, but if you want, you can pour it into another pitcher if you really wanted to. It's up to you, which I'm going to do that today. I'm just going to put it into another pitcher. See, I'm making a mess already. If I made a mess over the side of the jug, I'd be dripping ice cream everywhere. And then I would have to clean off the jug, and then I'd have to make sure nothing gets onto the base, and I'd have to wash the blending base with damp cloth, obviously. You know, it wouldn't work really well for my idea of doing things. If you can see, go for it. And I can't see, so it isn't going to work. Now all I need to do is, I've made a mess, right? So all I need to do is tip this into the jug. Isn't coming out. Will in a sec. Tip it into the jug from the cup. Put the cup in the sink. Wash my hands. Put the lid on the ice cream container. Where is it? Just there. Put the lid on. Put that into the freezer. And clean up where I've got ice cream. Right? Rinse off the jug. Ow, the water was hot, bloody hot. Now I've just got to wipe up here. Wipe up any mess that I've got on the jug. Turn it around a bit, clean it all off. Okay, done. And I want to put banana into this, so I'm going to. This banana open, and I'm going to put some banana in it because I want to. Just want to do it, so I'm going to. Just got to make sure all the stringy bits are out. I reckon they are. Pull the banana in little bits, and Okay, it's all done. Now, I've got a breakfast pitcher over here, so going to put that lid on there. Got to fit on there. Make sure that all the mess is cleaned up, and in which case it means no mess on the base of the jug or anything like that. I'm going to fix my bag of stupid shit thing, and then I'm just going to clean up here. Now, does it ever look like I've done anything over here? No, it doesn't, because I've cleaned up really good. Here. Now, I'm going to take all this banana skin away, throw it in the bin. Clean up where I've just touched and got a bit of shit in the bin. I do this drawer and chuck in this rack. And then very soon I'm going to just let the battery pack run off into the phone. When it's charged to 100%, I'm going to put the battery pack back on charger in my room and just leave it go all night. Now, next step, I've cleaned up over here. I am now going to blend this up. I've blended it all up now. Okay, I'm just going to put it onto the base. Oh no, what am I doing? Why do it? Oh shit. Oh, fuck, hang on. Now that works. Okay. Now. I didn't put grapes in, but don't worry about it. I didn't put grapes in it. All I need to do is throw that in the bin and I can get the grapes out. And all I need to do is open the top up. On the blender there's a little, you put the jug on the blender and the lid's on, and on the top there is a little lid thing, and you slowly feed grapes into it from there. Okay, so get them out. Oh, there's little oh, I haven't seen that before. There's little breathable holes in the bag, because I used to make complaints that fruit would go rotten easily and the bag is closed so the mould would grow in it. Even in the fridge it would grow slowly, but good enough that I'd complain about it. Now they've changed the packaging so that people aren't complaining anymore. Now this is what I would do. I'm not saying everyone has to do it. This is what I would do for me. You get a bowl out. You wash your grapes that you get out of the bag, because they've been handled by other people, and yeah, they're washed before they're put in the bag, but then they sit in the bag for a week before someone picks them up. So there's going to be a little bit of shit on them, from a bit of leftover dirt and a couple of germs and bugs and things that probably grow from the larvae into the bag, and some of the grapes go rotten and bullshit like that. So I'm going to get what grapes I reckon I need. Oh, where did I put that one? Oh, found it. Oh, that one's a bit rotten. Oh, yeah. Some of the grapes have developed holes because of worms that eat them, and then they during the process of being stored, the worms probably die maybe. Maybe the grapes get fumigated or something. Yuck. Ugh, yuck, gross. So I'm going to take some of the rotten ones out and chuck them because you don't want them. You don't want rotten grapes. You only want the good ones. That one's rotten too. Ugh, yuck. So you just want to take out some of the shitty ones. You want to take the whole bunch and chuck it with you. Take them out so they don't rot anything else out. You don't want any rotten ones. We get all the disgusting ones out of here now. Oh, yuck. You want to take the good ones. I won't consider that one either. I mean, some of them are going to be a little bit soft when I get them, but so long as they're not very mouldy, I'm okay with it. And there's dirt on the stems and shit like that, so even when they're graded well, there's some yucky ones. Okay, so now I've got quite a few grapes in here. Get a few more. I'm going to throw the rotten ones while I go, because then I don't have any yucky ones in it. Any really yucky ones. Some of them are a bit dirty and yucky and yuck. But anyway, I made complaints last year about how the grapes are stored and they go mouldy fairly quick even in the fridge. So now the bags have got special holes ventilated in the sides of them. And our fruit is pre-packed a lot better so that we don't scream and yell at the cold staff who didn't really do much apart from make sure that the food ended up on the shelves. They don't get screamed at. And the producers don't get screamed at for giving us shitty fruit. I'm going to get rid of some of the yucky ones now that I'm looking for them. Because I don't want them. Really yuck ones there. Disgusting ones. And those yuck too. I don't want any bad ones. The rest of them are fine. I throw all of the bad stuff away. You don't need it. Some of it's being squashed and everything. Oh, yuck. Chuck it out. So now I've got a bowl of grapes that I reckon is okay. And I'm going to push them into the blender as it goes. So, I'm going to put this packet of grapes back in the fridge there and eat them pretty quick, which is good. Good news. We're going to eat them rather fast. Okay. So now I'm going to dry my hands really well. Doesn't matter if my portable battery pack runs out. It's going to charge up the phone and I'm going to recharge the battery pack later anyway. So it doesn't concern me. Now, I'm going to turn make sure it's plugged in correctly. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to bring the bowl of grapes over here to me. Okay, doing that now. Right. Now, felt something on the bench. Oh, I have to wash it off my hands. Don't know what it was, a bit of chocolate or something. Okay, right. Got my grapes there. Blender here. Now I'm going to start it. Ready? Don't know why it stinks. Why does it stink? Okay, so it is working fine. I'm going to put a couple of grapes in there. Oh, just open up the stupid container, didn't I? This is where I make a bloody great mess. Made a huge mess and I have to clean that up right now because it's just going to fuck everything up if I don't. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Now. Oh, wasn't the fire thing? Okay. Now I'm making a mess again. It's getting everywhere now. That's the problem with using a blender is you make a mess really easily and it can get all over the things straight away. So you can't let that happen. Okay, I'll be back in a minute, guys. Got to wipe my hands properly. Okay, so I've wiped my hands. Okay, put a few more grapes in. Get off. Trick is you got to put the grapes in while your hand is over top of the thing so that it doesn't get mess everywhere. Now I've got to wipe the top of the lid of the thing because it's got shit all over it now. Okay. Clean all that off because I don't want to make a mess everywhere. Now, I reckon I'm panicking now because I'm scared that I'm fucking something up in the blender and I don't know what I'm doing. Kind of scared actually. Oh, I'm sort of freaking out. Okay, I'll pulse it. I'm going to get, oh, do I want to get that off? I want to use a wooden spoon or plastic to feel that everything is correctly. I've got the wooden spoon here. I'm going to have a feel how well it's done. Oh yeah, that feels okay, yeah. It does, it feels like it might want a bit more stuff done to it, which I will do it. Oh yeah. Still stuff everywhere. Got shit all over the place again. Okay, now I'm going to give it another whiz just to be sure and safe. Okay, now I'm going to turn that off. Okay, take it out, take that off the base. Now, I'm going to put as much as I can into this jug here, because I'm going to wash this out in a minute, and I want to have some of it for lunch and some of it in the jug for later. It is pretty blended up, so I will say that that's pretty good. It is pretty good. Okay. And have the rest of it in a big cup. So, do it, chip it in there now. Have the rest of it for later when I'm hungry. A bit more. Okay. It is really good. So now I'm going to put some hot water in it. Really hot water in it. And I'm going to wash it out whenever and as I can. Okay, I'm going to use really, really hot water in this jug. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to give it a taste. Oh, yum! Yum! So now, that's in there. I'm just going to let it sit for a while, and when I've drunk this smoothie, whenever I want to finish drinking it, I will be waiting for this blender to soak enough. Okay, I'm going to put that on like that. Actually, that won't. No, I've put it the wrong way. Set it completely the wrong way. Fuck now. So now if I want to drink, I can just tip that up. Right. See, I can make too much for a smoothie that I don't want. Put the rest of it in the fridge for later. Now I have a choice of soft drink or smoothie. It's my choice now. And as I would do, I'd clean up the mess. And you wouldn't even know I've used the kitchen bench because it's pretty clean. And now I guess I can just chit chat, do other things on my recording, do whatever I want to do, because at any time I can recharge my portable battery pack for my phone. So it doesn't matter if I use it at home or if I decide that the battery pack is full so I can use it when I go out the next day, or whatever I want to do. And the good news is I don't need to hurriedly finish off my drink. I can take 5 minutes to scull it, or I can drink it slowly in approximately up to 2 hours. Up to 2 hours for health and safety reasons with food and food poisoning. I have up to 2 hours to drink it safely or chuck it out. I could put it in the fridge, but I'm not going to do that. So I have up to 2 hours to drink my smoothie if it's not refrigerated, or if I decide I've had enough, I can put my cup in the fridge for later, but I have to drink it within 24 hours if it's in a cup, and 2 hours if I leave it out. And if it's really hot for no air conditioning, within half an hour, up to an hour maximum. And if it has eggs in it, it's to be drunk within half an hour or refrigerated immediately, basically. So in my smoothie, I've just put leftover fruit salad from when I cut up pawpaw and watermelon last night. And I added 1 banana and a handful of nice, good quality grapes. And in the meantime, I could clean out the bag of any yucky ones and chuck them in the bin. So I've killed 2 birds with 1 stone today. So I am very happy about that. So now I have a choice of drinks. I can have Milo, milk, soft drink, a homemade smoothie. I can do anything. I could even make juice and use my strainer to sieve off the juice from the fruit into a container or a large cup or something. And I'll be killing 3 birds by taking rubbish out to the bin right now. The bin's taken out. I've just got to put a new bag on a new bag on the little bucket that goes in the bin. That's all I need to do when it's done. Oh, hang on, wrong bag. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on? Fuck, I need a bag, not a little tiny balloon thing. is out of the road. So here we go. Cleaned up the bench, did my smoothie. My blending base is still where it was. Still where it is. And I've got my smoothie which I'm still drinking slowly. I'll put the rest of it in my pitcher jug for later. And on my recording I'm going to show people how I know it's not visual footage and that, but it's obviously something. And all the shit that people say about you need dietary supplements because food doesn't have enough nutrients in it, that is partly true, but that highly depends on you too. Do you absorb what you digest properly? Sometimes people don't, it depends on their stomach. Other times people do, but maybe they're finicky eaters. You can't force someone to eat when they're not hungry. They're finicky. They have to find their own way to work out how to eat adequately enough for them. So in some situations, dietary supplements are necessary, and if you're crook and you physically can't eat due to pain and sickness for any reason, sometimes you need them to assist you to recover better, because eating isn't helping, because you attempt to eat your adequate amount of food to suit you and you're like, no, I'm too sick, I can't eat anymore. So you take a vitamin supplement because it won't make you any fuller, it'll just absorb more vitamins than you usually get from your food, which means you're technically receiving not adequate amounts of food, but adequate amounts of nutrition that you can't have in your diet right now. So of course that's where medication is really good. Once you are eating an adequate amount of food to suit you though, and it highly depends on the person, so I can't really say what one person should or shouldn't eat, but if you're eating to suit your life and you're comfortable and you feel well enough that you can just eat every day and get out of bed, you don't really need dietary supplements because you're feeling fine. When you're not feeling okay, something's wrong and you need to fix it. So it is relative. It depends on the person involved with these medical problems with dietary needs. And it's very, very subjective. 1 minute I'm really sick and I need help all the time. Next thing, I don't get sick for months to years and I wouldn't have a clue. So I'm wasting medication that I once needed. And yet other people need it all the time because they don't have it. They are always ill or not well, or they know they should be eating something but they're too ill. They physically can't eat. Some people simply don't want to eat, and so their cases are like, get a grip of yourself and learn how to eat, apart from take your dietary supplements as needed until you learn how to eat properly, because just being silly. not only that, there's probably reasons why people don't want to eat, so they've got to kind of get a grip on their situation in different ways until they can eat. And that's fine. But for other people it doesn't work like that and they need help anyway. So extremely subjective. Some people need them, some people don't. Some people need them in phases over their life and then they don't need the supplements anymore. I go through phases where some years I'm taking medicine nearly all year. Other years I don't even touch the stuff. I don't even know what it's like to take medication. Have to be reminded at the pharmacy how to take the bloody stuff. You know? Other people may spend no day in their life sick at all and you just think, how does that happen? But it does. So everybody isn't alike. Just because I recommend dietary supplements doesn't make it that someone else has to have them. And I don't recommend dietary supplements anymore because I physically don't need them myself yet. Not yet. If I suffered from heat exhaustion where I get sick for a couple of days because I've overdone it in the heat to where I'm not well, then maybe a bit of assistance is required with medication. But, well, because I eat tons of fruit and that now, and it happens to be me that does this because it's subjective from person to person. Just because I do something doesn't make it right for someone else, because they might like to eat tons of fruit and they're fine too. But depending on their health needs and medical stuff, we don't know why they need medication when they're apparently healthy and eating very well. So it depends on everybody's needs and conditions. I, for one, happen to be like your average Joe Blow who just has an average life, doesn't have any serious medical conditions, thank heavens, and so I can get away with eating a ton of fruit and lots of other foods, and I rarely need vitamins and mineral supplements except when very crook and my body plays up and it doesn't want to work until I get better. But it's just me. Like other people in the world are like that too, and that's just how it is. But yeah, I am really into the fruit and that now because I'm making fruit smoothies and all sorts of things. And I'm lucky enough that I don't really need, just like the average Joe blogs out there, don't really need much in the way of medicine right now. So, yeah, that's really all I can say, I guess. But the fact is, when I'm making a smoothie, I can kill 3 or 4 birds with one stone by putting the rubbish out, chucking out bad fruits that are no good, that are causing other fruits to go rotten, and all of that sort of stuff. Slowly drink my smoothie, stand around or sit around and relax and talk, and just enjoy myself. But yeah, I've got the air conditioner going because it's hot outside. Now if I decide to go for a walk to the shops later, I might just go spontaneously, go for a walk to the shops. The library's open. I forgot about that. It's Tuesday. I can go to the library and then I can go and get some salad and eat the rest, well, as much of that red rooster chicken as possible on wraps, couldn't I? Yeah, I could do that. So if I do a walk to the shops and possibly back home, I'm not overdoing myself because I'm full of goodness from tropical fruits that come in October right through to February or March sometimes. So it's fruits that grow in tropical heat that we need to suit the heat, to beat the weather and for all the bugs that get around in summer, the fruits fight it off and that. So yeah, I might just spontaneously go to the library this afternoon. Possibly. We'll see. I might not, but I might just go there, you know, if I walk at about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And then I won't get heat stroke, because I mean the heat will probably kill me, but it won't be like I'm going to die or suffer too badly. So yeah, I might just get, I've got onion in the freezer. Oh yeah, I do. I need to find that onion. Don't know where it is. It's in the freezer somewhere, but I need to find it. And I need to get lettuce and coleslaw, and I've got cucumber there. I'm actually going to cut the cucumber up and freeze it as well in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to freeze cucumber, and when I've got more room in the freezer, I'm going to make fruit salad and freeze it. I'm going to cut up some fruit and freeze it up in that. And then I can either throw it in a smoothie or just eat it. And I could even eat tropical fruit in winter because it will ward off the flu and stuff. There is a bug going around now that causes like a laryngitis thing, and I've got a bit of it. Voice is gone. And the more fruit I can eat, the better the hospital can treat me if I'm put there, but I don't think that's going to happen. But let's just pretend it does. They have to put nutrition in your IV just for safety and that, but then they may not necessarily have to do it. Some bags can just be salt water, some bags will have nutrients and salt water. But if I've eaten a lot of nutritious food at home, they don't have to put near as much nutrients into the veins as what they would usually have to, unless they're going to do a really long surgery and you've gone without food for 12 to 24 hours and you're getting really sick. Then yeah, they put nutrients in your arm then because they have to. But usually they wouldn't have to. And once again, that is subjective. Everyone is different. Some people don't need much nutrition. Other people need a bloody ton of it. It highly depends on every person. Very relative, very subjective. It is case by case basis. Maybe it's very average not to need a ton of nutrition, but some people are not average and some people are just very, very good with their medical health. Just like you get good fruit and bad fruit, you get good people and bad people. Just like that. You'd like it if no one was ever bad or ever sick, but it doesn't happen. You just have to hope that you're one of the lucky ones to be good and healthy. Right. How charged?
-9 7 4 8 8 1 3. Recorder settings button. Recorder settings. File iPhone microphone.
Yes.
Recorder file iPhone pause stop button.
Anyway, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to put my washing into the dryer. Oh yeah, I was going to show you how I bloody I forgot about that. I forgot. Oh, I forgot all about it. I was going to show you guys how I wash out my blender, and thank God there is no fucking mold growing in it like when I had another blender years ago. I didn't know that I wasn't washing it properly, and I accidentally got really sick from possibly food poisoning, which might have been a result of mold or something, I don't know, but something went wrong really badly, and my grandfather discovered mold in the blender, and I thought, oh yuck, that's disgusting. This time it's not getting any mold in it because I just clean it really good, and it's a different design which prevents, when you clean it out, it prevents mold from growing in it because of the way it's designed. Before I pause the recording, I'm going to rinse this thing out. Okay, so using hot water, and I'm going to get my nifty little scrubbing brush, and I'm going to start scrubbing it all out. Which is what I'm doing now. Now, there is just, hang on, the water's too hot and I can't work with hot water. So now I'm scrubbing out the blender. And I'm just scrubbing it all out. Okay. Now I'm going to put my hands in it and wash it, feel it, that it's washing. Yep, clean it right out with the cloth as well. Now this stupid bloody thing. Get the scrubbing brush again. Better. You've got to scrub it out really well. Yep, put that over there. Clean that out very good. And make sure it's all clean properly. It takes a bit to really clean it up. Then you got to clean out the bottom of it, and oh shit, clean it right out. Clean it all out. Yeah, the blades in the bottom, you've got to rinse them off. Feel that it's cleaning out really, really well. Make sure the sides of the jug are cleaned off, and put that up over in the sink, and then clean up the rest of the dishes. Clean up the scrubber a little bit. Get out some of the stuff off it. Gently put that back over here. Oh no. Bloody fucking toaster gets in the road, and then it gets dirty as. The toaster gets really dirty, it does. Now I have to make back out of the road, fucking toaster. Now I've got to make sure I clean up everything that's in my sink now. All of my dishes. Clean off the blender thing. Clean off that too. Clean off the cups. See, this is all the shit that I need to do after I've made breakfast and had a smoothie. It's all the shit that I need to deal with. And I'm going to have some banana bread later. Go some tomorrow, but then it won't get eaten. Oh, there is stupid shit everywhere. Cups and fucking plates and bloody shit all over this fucking sink. Oh, this always happens to me. Every time I wake up, the sink's okay until like lunchtime, and then it is full of shit. Bloody shitty dishes everywhere. Crap all over the place. Shit everywhere. Bloody stuff all over here. Stuff everywhere. Fucking stuff all over the joint. There is so much cups and plates and rubbish everywhere here. It's everywhere. It's all over in the sink. The sink is full of dishes. And now it's starting to feel like a clean sink again. Oh my god. Bloody shit everywhere here. This kitchen is no different to what it was this morning when I woke up. There's stuff all through the sink. Dishes and mess and all that. Oh my god. Unbelievable how long. It only took 3 hours for the sink to get very full today. 3 hours. Now I can't put any more dishes down. Oh, nearly dropped a plate onto the ground. I nearly did. Now I need to put some dishes in the sink. Now, fix up the dishes that are in the sink. Teaspoon that I'm now washing, because the plate nearly went straight off the dish rack onto the ground. Nearly landed on my foot. Look how many things are here. There's a knife, there's 2 knives, and there's another teaspoon. That's how full and loaded the sink was, full of dishes. And there was a load of dishes on the dish rack. Now I need to put a cup over somewhere here just to make it. There we go. Put that, see, it's not going to go anywhere. And then put the plate somewhere. Just somewhere, I think. Not going to go anywhere because the dishes are too overloaded. But the dishes are so overloaded that I'm not surprised that I can't fit any more cups on the sink. Now all the dishes are done, I have to just leave them there now because they need to dry. Okay. Get rid of the bubbles. Right, now I have a very clean sink, and I figured that I might as well just put the dishes washing in the dryer while the recording's still on. I'm just going to leave it dry for ages and ages, and I guess I can turn off my recording now because it's done.
Stop. Stop. Button. Pause. Stop.